Everybody, how's it going? Welcome to Cocktail Time Live here at 4Planet Network. It is Friday night, which can only mean one thing. It means, of course, that it's time to drink, and it's time to talk about video games. Hey everybody, this is Joseph. I'm your host of Cocktail Time here at 4Planet Network, and with me we have a full house tonight. We have many people. No, just three other people. We have, as usual, Bob Webb. Say hello, Bob.
Hello, Bob.
That's hello, Bob. And Chris Davis.
Hello, how are y'all?
And today we have Jeff DeMello. How you doing, Jeff?
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, I'm good. So we have Jeff on tonight, which is kind of fun. Yeah. How's everybody doing? I'm kind of like out of it and tired. I played some Battlefield before the show, and it immediately put me in a horrible mood. Is what it did. Because I'm tired of people not knowing how to play Battlefield, and I'm kind of tired of DICE because like it's still a broken mess. So I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do because I love Battlefield. I always have loved Battlefield, always. But something horrible has happened to the Battlefield series this past year. Like there's been a downgrade in every possible way. Number one, I've played well over 100 hours of Battlefield 4 on the PS4. Well over 100 hours. And I have yet to hear a PS4 player using their mics to actually coordinate and do something. Like it wasn't like that on Battlefield 3 on the PS on 360. People actually use their mics, And I think part of it is like, they had rented servers on the 360 where you can go in, they had clans and they would actually use their mics and stuff, and there's none, like I don't think they've rented servers for Soda yet with the PS4 yet. So I can't find them.
Well, there's no rented servers, period, I don't think, just yet, except on PC.
Yeah. So, I mean, I can't... There's no clans. There's nothing like that. So it's just pug hell the entire time. And secondly, fucking Naval Strike is... When it works, it's fantastic. But the fucking thing is broken. It's so fucking broken. I mean... The netcode is horrible. It's worse than it's ever been. The rubber banding is worse than it's ever been. You start a match and it takes 5 minutes for the sounds for most of the textures to load. It's just a fucking mess. And with a game like Battlefield 4 where there's so much going on, there's so much you're keeping track of, when the netcode is shitty, like it affects everything. Everything feels off. Like reloading feels off, nothing feels responsive, running around feels like you're running through jello. The whole thing just feels wrong, and it's so frustrating. And I think I'm done with it. I think I'm like, when the inevitable Battlefield 5 gets announced, probably at E3, because why fix this game before you announce the new game? Like I'm gonna be like, whatever. I'm not gonna be a day one person like I've been since I've bought Battlefield day one since like 1942, since when 1942 came out. When Battlefield 5
I was going to say, you're really old.
Yeah, I'm real. Oh, since 1942, I played the Battlefield games. Back then, you'd get a little more bloody. But our grandparents...
That was been 2002, 2003?
Something like that. But you know
I
what?
playing that demo a lot in college.
But I've been a day one person with the Battlefield series from the beginning. And I will not buy Battlefield 5 day one. I will not buy the new Battlefront day one. At all. I will not pre-order either of those games. I will not buy them day one. I will just sit back and I will wait till they actually get competent.
Well, I would just ask the question, what if it's not DICE that develops it?
Well, DICE is developing Battlefront.
Well, no, I'm not talking about Battlefront. I'm talking about the next Battlefield.
But, so you mentioned, before the show, you mentioned something about Visceral Games.
Yes.
What is this? I didn't hear about this.
So Visceral is heavily rumored to be working on this year's Battlefield game.
Oh, this year. Well, that's good that there's one this year because, Battlefield last year's one isn't working yet, so it might as well.
I know. And by the time that one launches, they'll actually have fixed Battlefield 4.
I know.
But this new game, it's not a traditional Battlefield game as the rumors suggest. The rumors say that it's going to be a cops and robbers game.
A cops and robbers game.
Yes.
Isn't it already a cops and robbers game? But the robbers are like Russian or Chinese.
What does that mean?
What?
What does that mean? Cops and robbers game. Like, what does that mean exactly?
I'm thinking it's supposedly like a much larger version, much larger version of Payday.
Well, it would be interesting if it was more like a guerrilla warfare infiltration versus defense kind of thing. That might be similar to what they're trying to do.
Rainbow Six Vegas, son.
It maybe not stealthy. It may be more like a hardcore military. They have bunker busters coming in. That could be really cool, but who the fuck knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just frustrated. I'm frustrated with the series in total. I'm frustrated where it's gone. I'm frustrated with the development. I'm frustrated with the players. I'm just ultimately frustrated. I don't know. It's I was in a good mood until I played Battlefield 4. That immediately I was thinking, like I said before, like when Battlefield works, it's great. Like when it's like the other night, I tweeted because I had a great experience where we're really behind and people like they infiltrated our carrier and like we held them, man. We held them at the carrier. Just like it was our last stand and we did really well. Tonight, they infiltrate our carrier and it's me and one other guy. And everyone else is out at the map taking points. Oh, I'm going to take some points now. Oh, it's easier. There's no more enemy here. There's no more enemy. They all disappeared. I guess I'll just take points. It's easy now. Because all the enemy was all on our fucking carrier, taking our fucking carrier points to win the match. And all these fucking idiots are out there, oh, I'm going to go to A. Because there's no enemy anymore. I'm going to go out there. I'll take the point. That's what I do. Battlefield 4. Fucking idiots. Fucking idiots.
Well, hey. One thing. At least they're trying to play the fucking objective.
The wrong one. It's not good. It doesn't matter.
I didn't say they were doing the correct one or they were doing the correct thing, but they were trying.
Like, what in that map, what should happen is, like, all the objective, like, once the carrier is breached, like, all the objectives should disappear except for the carrier. But then, of course, then you have 64 people in the carrier. And it would be fucking madness. Because...
It turns into Operation Metro.
Well, it's worse than that, because unlike 2142, where the carriers were actually really big, and there were multiple... I think there were, like, 3 or 4 points within the carrier, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. I remember there being, like, 3 or 4 points within the carriers you'd have to take. In Naval Assault, there's just 2. And they're not that far from each other. Like it's quick. Like you can hold them back, but I mean, there's not room for 64 players in there to fight. So I don't, but still, God, makes me angry. But they do some really funny shit, like the carrier assault. People are assaulting the carrier, and people are driving hovercrafts into the carrier and fucking driving around inside. Somebody got a fucking helicopter in there the other day. They flew a the top part of the carrier where A is? They flew a fucking helicopter into there through one of the holes and was flying in it, shooting people. It was kind of amazing. It was kind of funny. But, oh well. All right, should we do our toast of the week? Should we do this?
We should.
Let's do it.
I guess we should. My rant is over. Toast of the week. Chris Davis, why don't you go first?
Oh, God, I get volunteered.
You get volunteered.
My toast of the week is going to go out to the fine, very few folks that are still at Irrational Games for releasing Bioshock Infinite Very Sea Episode 2 this week.
Right.
It's probably the only game I really played this week, but it was really good.
Nice.
And tonight unfortunately, I ran out of oranges, so it's just going to be shots of vodka and a Virgil's Special Edition Bavarian Nutmeg Root Beer.
Oh.
Ooh,
look at that.
That sounds tasty.
That's all high class.
It's got one of those kind of wireframe, corks for wine. So
oh, yeah.
hopefully it doesn't taste like shit.
I'm sure it'll be good.
That's a swing top bottle. That is a bottle that is actually revered by all home brewers because you do not need to cap it. You can clean it, pour your beer in there, just cinch it down and you're done. It's fucking awesome. I have like probably like 20 of them. They're great.
Well, for $5, this better be a fucking good root beer.
It's a fancy ass bottle.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. Bob Webb.
Yeah, my toast goes to Ian Stalker from Magical Time Bean for launching Scapegoat 2, which was a sequel to a really awesome indie Xbox Live indie game a couple of years back, and it's lived up to being the sequel. It's a really fun. I'm having a blast with it. It just launched this past week, and there's a bunch of other stuff around there with Double Fine publishing it and all this kind of crazy stuff. But congrats to him. It's fucking awesome that he's finally got the second game out. And I'm drinking a shot of vodka, and this is some of my amber, my American amber that I brewed last month, and it came out really good. So nice. I'm enjoying that as well.
Cool. I'll go next. So tonight I am toasting to, I don't know if you guys saw on Twitter, but the Hot Blooded Gaming guys, which is Craig and our friend Davey Ocean. They had a studio called Hot Blooded Games. They've actually done a relaunch of their studio, and they changed their names to New Blood Entertainment.
I think you call it a reboot.
It's a reboot. It's kind of a reboot.
It's a reboot of their studio.
In a way. So Hot Blooded Gaming is gone, and it's New Blood Entertainment. So my toast out to them and good luck and whatnot. And tonight I just am drinking some Rasputins is what I have for tonight.
Just Rasputin?
Just Rasputins, that's it. No hard liquor. Actually, I might have some vodka in the freezer. Maybe I'll grab some of that. Jeff is your name.
Yes.
You go next.
I'm just keeping it real with some Bacardi and pink lemonade.
Oh, Bacardi, that's good stuff. Yeah, that's actually
Yeah.
that sounds really good. It's almost vanilla-y and almost I bet it tastes like a fucking Starburst.
Yeah, no, it's light lemonade, so it kind of tastes like, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Except less sugary.
Right.
I guess my toast goes to the Penny Arcade Expo because it's a few weeks away, and I'm super excited about it. And so toast to everyone who's going to the Penny Arcade Expo, I guess.
It's gonna be fun. We've been doing a lot of work on our game and stuff.
Yeah.
So
I'm not excited for it. Fuck.
No, why not?
More time.
I haven't been doing any work on your game.
That's true. You haven't.
Well, you're lucky.
All right, so let us toast 1 and 2 and 3. Oh, all right. Excellent. So, man,
Vodka.
so that's Naval Strike. The thing is, it's like it hurts. It actually hurts my heart to bitch about Battlefield and Naval Strike. Because, like I said, there's moments. There are such awesome moments. I was in a fucking Ski-Doo, and there was the enemy was coming at me in a raft boat type of thing. You know what I mean? And there was 2 guys in there, one driver with a gun, and he's using his gun, and he's trying to shoot me, and I was zipping in and out, back and forth, and I was like, I'm just going to fucking run into him. I'm going to fucking run into him, like I did in PlanetSide 2. And, as soon as we almost got to each other, I hit a wave, and I shit you not, I flew and went over their boat. Instead of hitting them, like a game of chicken, I fucking flew right over their boat, right over their heads, and it was the best fucking thing ever. It was so cool. And shit like that makes...
I've heard that the hovercraft in the game are hilarious.
Oh, it's hilarious! I run over so many dudes! Oh my god, I've run over so many guys in the hovercrafts. They're really fun to drive around, and it's really cool just kind of skimming over islands and back into the thing and whatnot. It's fun, and that's what I mean. When Battlefield works, it's so fucking good. Which I think is what makes it even more frustrating when it doesn't work. When you're rubber banding, which is you go two steps forward and one step back constantly every 2 seconds, and it makes it seem like you're running in mud, and everything's affected by that. It's so frustrating because you just want to get into it and play and have those great experiences. and it sucks that it's just so technically kind of busted, and it makes me want these guys just to spend the time they need to spend to make it good, and free themselves from these fucking EA deadlines that are killing their game. I mean, fucking killing the game. They're lucky. Let me tell you something. The best thing that ever happened to the Battlefield series was Call of Duty Ghosts being not that good. Because if it was, like, everyone would be playing Call of Duty Ghosts right now. Like, if Call of Duty Ghosts was another Black Ops 2, they'd be in deep fucking shit. But, So. But I don't know. Well, I checked the battle logs, the Battlefield forums, and apparently there are some test servers where they're trying out some new netcode and stuff, and people have been joining them and saying that it's smooth as silk. So hopefully a fix is coming down the way. Should be nice. I don't know. All right, Chris Davis, you've been playing the BioShock Infinite.
Yes, I have.
Tell me about this, because I heard it was pretty good. Oh, wow, look at this. I just noticed that on the chat channel, there's a little smiley face, and from there you can get to our little icons. Oh, no, I can't do it because I'm not a subscriber. That's too sad. That's sad. I can't do it.
Well.
Oh, well.
BioShock Infinite Burial at Sea Episode 2, if that wasn't a long enough name, is a pretty dang good little piece of DLC.
Is it?
Yes, sir, it is. It's a lot better than Episode 1. Episode 1 just kind of ends, and it's a little bit of a revelation, but it's not all that exciting. But Burial at Sea, as you play as Elizabeth, not only is it significantly longer, it's also a lot more fun.
You play as Elizabeth?
Yeah, you play as Elizabeth. Nothing but Elizabeth.
Is she good with guns? There's a lot of guns in BioShock Infinite.
Well, see, that's the thing. This is not a traditional BioShock formula game.
Uh-huh.
Because you play as Elizabeth, and because of what they do with the story, it's actually completely stealth-oriented.
Oh, that sounds like it'd be terrible, but apparently it's not.
It works really well.
Okay.
Now, it does have a few issues. Number one, they've kind of dumbed down the AI in order to make up for that.
Right.
Does Booker throw shit at you?
Oh, Booker's...
It's the other way
really
around.
Oh, okay.
It's just Elizabeth.
You actually throw things at the enemies to distract them, like coins.
Well, early on you get a crossbow, and that it's a multifunction crossbow. So you got like tranquilizer arrows, gas arrows, things like that. And there are guns you can pick up in the game and use, but you don't have Booker's shield, so you only have health.
Right.
And you will die really fucking easily if you're not careful.
Right.
So
they were like handing out those what they didn't call them plasmids, they call them vigors. They were handing that shield vigor was like they were just like, here you go. You think like Elizabeth would have picked one up? They were like, you enter a bar and you get one. Like they were just throwing them at you.
Yeah, but this is she
doesn't get one.
Doesn't this take place in like underwater BioShock?
So this takes place in Rapture. In 1959, just prior to the outbreak of the Civil War.
How does that relate to the other games?
It's pre BioShock 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But story-wise, this takes place after Infinite.
What?
So Infinite happens first?
Yeah, Infinite happens in 1912.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
So the idea is that Elizabeth came to Rapture and she wanted to punish one of the incarnations of Comstock. And in doing so, I'm not going to be spoiling much of anything anyway. I'm trying not to. But she goes through her quest in episode 1, and it ends. And she wakes up, and she's a normal person. She doesn't have any of her power. She is not omnipotent. She just wakes up, and she's about to be put to death by Atlas. one of the primary bad guys of Bioshock 1. And from there, she has to, in exchange for the rescue of a little sister, the same little sister that she used to fuck with Comstock in episode 1, she has to raise and get Atlas's faction back to Rapture because they've been sunk into a canyon.
Okay.
And it's kind of interesting because the entire time she's acknowledging how she doesn't have an omnipotence. She can't see through all the doors. She doesn't know what the future will hold. And she can't manipulate tears. And so she has to maneuver like a normal person with no powers whatsoever.
So Chad is freaking out because they're saying it doesn't work. They're saying the timeline doesn't make sense.
The what?
They said that Chad is freaking out because they're saying the timeline doesn't make sense.
How does it not make sense that Infinite takes place in 1912 and Bioshock 1 and 2... Bioshock 1 takes place in 1960?
I guess that works.
Chris Davis, this is the internet we're talking about. They know. They read gaff. They know.
Evidently they don't read gaff enough.
Yeah, Bioshock Infinite set in 1912.
Yeah, it does work.
See,
Okay.
Bioshock.
Just because it's a sequel doesn't mean it takes place further along a timeline.
Bioshock is set in 1960s. Bitches, sit down.
It works. It
Metal Gear
works.
Solid
Everybody's
2
freaking out in
was set
chat.
2008. Metal Gear Solid 3 was set in 1964.
It's fine then. Everyone
Don't worry,
knew.
we're going to talk about Metal Gear.
We tried that.
Metal
Oh,
Gear-
that was last week. That was last week we tried to go through the
What
Metal Gear.
happened? I didn't get to it.
Because Chris was saying that it made sense for Kiefer Sutherland to be Snake's voice because Snake should be more gruff at this point because it's after number 2, Snake Eater. But I said, well, that doesn't make any sense because David Hayter's voice is more gruff.
Yeah.
But then we got a little more confused about when things are taking place, and then something about naked snakes, and then there was like solid
even
What
ones,
you're
matter?
selectively forgetting.
and then there were slimy snake is going to be the next one. It's
It
coming up.
doesn't even matter.
Oh my god!
I think
Snake.
what's
I
going.
never played that game to actually pay attention.
I think-
played it because it's kind of silly and fun at the same time.
I think the way you need to look at Metal Gear is the same way you need to look at Zelda, where every game kind of is kind of its own thing, and like Link is kind of like the same Link in every game, but every game is sort of a reboot. I think it has to be sort of like that.
It's isn't Metal Gear like a Japanese grindhouse version of like a Western military
I wouldn't say
espionage?
I wouldn't say grindhouse, but it definitely has sort of a.
It's like that punk rock like style,
Yeah.
like anti art house.
It has some of that. It definitely has that.
Yeah, it does. Kojima's great because it's like his camera angles and like he does just crazy stuff. But I was disappointed with Metal Gear. But I don't want to interrupt. But we were talking about BioShock.
I think so. We were talking about timelines, and that got us into the Metal Gear.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Metal Gear is a more convoluted timeline than fucking Infinite.
That's
and
true.
Infinite has some next level metaphysical quantum entanglement bullshit going on in its story anyway.
Right.
But yeah, it's a stealth game basically, and it's first off the environments are a lot more diverse. They feel larger. It's basically kind of 3 different playgrounds that you get to go explore in, and there's a lot of story to be said. And
How are the mechanics, Chris?
The mechanics work well. Like I said, the AI has been dumbed down just a little to make it more of a stealth game. So if you just run away and disappear for half a second out of their line of sight, they'll lose you, and they'll only run to like where you were when they saw you last. That's it. And they really, I don't know. It's just the AI is kind of dumb, but because of that, you kind of feel powerful.
I want to talk about that.
Talk
don't
about
know.
what?
I'm kind of done with Bioshock.
Oh yeah. But you're one of those like Bioshock was racist people, weren't you?
No, that was kind of like just me, like kind of trolling. It really, it's like sometimes you gotta enjoy things. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's silly to kind of just put everything under a microscope, like when it's not really intended to be that. But that's a story for another day. I don't know.
I say that if you beat Bioshock Infinite, you really need to play this because the story is pretty good. It has the happiest opening scene of like any moment in the entire Bioshock series. It's so fucking happy.
I'll tell you what, I'm really excited to go back to Rapture, honestly, because Bioshock 1 is probably Bioshock 1 is probably my second favorite game of all time. And to go back there like I'm enthralled by that idea, you know. And I think
And
go ahead.
and going on that, the way they format the story in this, it's designed to be literally a prequel to Bioshock 1. It sets up the story for everything that happens in Bioshock 1.
See, I like that idea. That makes me happy. That makes me want that's what makes me want to play it because it sets up one of my favorite games ever. So that's kind of cool.
It sets up the villains. It sets up Jack. It sets up the little sisters, Suchong, the whole 9 yards.
See, now I got to play this. This is just the Burial at Sea episode 1 and episode 2, right? They both do that?
Burial at Sea episode 1 really isn't... It's kind of its own self-contained story.
It's DLC. It's not standalone.
Oh, it is standalone. You don't need to play Infinite or...
I think you need to own Infinite at least to be able to play it.
Yeah,
It's DLC.
I mean...
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's DLC.
Yeah.
You have to know some of the higher plot points of Infinite to understand what's going on in Burial at Sea 1. But Burial at Sea 2, yeah, it's best that you understand exactly what happened in all of Infinite.
Right.
And in fact, all of Bioshock 1.
Right.
Well,
maybe
I
I'll
haven't played
pick it up.
Bioshock 2.
Bioshock 2 is really good. It's not as strong as one would hope,
Oh, I think
but
I
it's
heard
got some good ideas.
I heard the Minerva's Den DLC for Bioshock 2 is where it's at.
Oh, Minerva's Den's fantastic.
I haven't
Yeah,
played.
yeah,
I
Bioshock
still haven't played
experience.
that. I need to do that.
It's in my backlog. My backlog is so long. I can't play video games anymore.
I remember how afraid we were when BioShock 2 was announced that you were going to be a big daddy, and we were all like, "Oh my god, it's the worst idea ever!" And it sounded so awful on paper,
You're ruining it.
but it actually worked out pretty
Here's
well.
the thing, though. I don't understand that because you were a big daddy in 1.
No, you weren't.
Yeah, you
In
did.
the end,
Oh, at
in
the end,
you
at the
collected
end.
all the parts.
That's
and
right, at the end you did.
You became a big daddy.
Yeah, at the end. It was at the end.
You know what I mean? So I was like, "What? Why is everyone freaking
Yeah,
out?"
but because
They're all like
because
this-
that's like an evolution, you know, that's an evolution of a character, and it sort of makes sense.
Right.
But playing the whole game as a big daddy, it's like, wow, is that kind of overkill? I think Brad put it right when it was like when it was first announced years ago, and he was like, oh man, it reeks of like a businessman suit producer being like, hey, everybody likes the big daddies. What if you played as a big daddy? You know, it reeked of that awful producer idea. But they actually pulled it off pretty well, I think.
Yeah, so I think the only thing they really got wrong with Bioshock 2 was the big sister.
Really?
Because
Do you think so?
they-
Because
they
I thought
were marketing that and positioning it to be
Wow.
this really epic enemy that you had to come across that could attack you at any time.
she could.
No, she was entirely scripted.
Yeah, but I mean, like, but it was like, I mean, she wasn't it wasn't like a Resident Evil type of thing where you just kind of appeared or whatever. But I mean, like, those fights were awesome. Like, those are really cool fights when you were fighting the Big Sisters.
yeah, the first time she
So-
cracks that glass,
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
and I want to play Bioshock 2 as well.
Yeah, Bioshock, I'm with you, Joseph. Bioshock 1 was one of those games that really. There was a point in my life where, during like the PS2 era, that I stopped really playing games a lot, and I only dabbled in like PC stuff. And then like the 360, like I got a hold of the 360, and then I kind of fell into last gen right at this point, and like BioShock was the game that really solidified my like, oh shit, like I really enjoy video games so much more now because of this game. And I was so much more excited about it. It's kind of sad. I really liked Infinite because I liked the world. I like their world building, right? More than like all the other bullshit. Like I was satisfied most by their world building and their artistry and like the, just the art direction and the design in their games that it satisfied me enough that like all the gripes and shit, I get it. It's not everyone's gonna forgive a game, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's kind of sad. We lost a Boston developer. You know what I mean? Like in a way, and that sucks.
We lost a
my city. Does that really have shit going for it? You know what I mean? So we need to get on it. I mean, BFig is starting to pick up.
Yeah, and we lost Irrational. I mean, Irrational was one of those studios that you thought was going to be around forever.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think so did they.
We've been losing a lot of people lately.
Yeah, Disney.
Yeah.
And,
you know what?
I don't know.
I think we'll be okay. Like I think Ken Levine, if anything, is really gonna like bring some great games still. You know what I mean?
I think so.
If he was the creative force that he gets credit for in all the other stuff, like him in a small team with money, like. That's danger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he'll do good.
So that's danger.
Levine is just one of those. He's one of those.
But it's inspiring.
Yeah, he's one of those brilliant people that needs a counterpart to kind of cage him in a little bit. You know what I mean? And give him some direction because he's so brilliant, has so many ideas. And if you read some post-mortem articles about what happened at Irrational, a lot of it was, they spent their first 3 years building stuff and then tearing it down, rebuilding it and tearing it down, rebuilding it, tearing it down. And, a lot of these ideas they had just never made it to the final product. It was a lot of starting from scratch and whatnot.
Yeah.
And what really saved Infinite at all was them bringing in a couple of directors. One of the guys was from Epic to kind of corral Ken Levine and his crazy, brilliant mind to be like, okay, we need a direction here, and we're going to stick with it. You know what I mean? And we're going to give – they actually – I think in one of the articles I read that this guy kind of like – he kind of corralled Ken Levine a little bit, and Ken actually excelled when he was corralled a bit. When he was giving limitations, he actually did better. Instead of just kind of, free associating.
Let's stop for a
about
second.
Games all the time.
Yeah, let's stop for a second, right, Joseph? And like now that you're in like the seat of like development, right? Mm-hmm. Just imagine like that idea. Like you can actually make that kind of game.
Well,
like you had enough power behind you,
power and money to make anything you
want.
Make
a game as like. So can you imagine all right, so we have 2 years, but I think of the time that I've spent with Bob, like developing prototypes and like designing things like and ideas and all that shit for like we blew a year doing nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I
no, mean?
that
happens all, dude. That happens all
along the way.
That happens all the time. Like a lot of these
doing
studios for free. Right. A lot of these studios that close.
So imagine.
Yeah, a lot of these studios that close, they spend 2-3 years getting paid a minimum of $50,000 a year, right? For like some of the lower people, like doing nothing, just like kind of coming up with ideas and don't have them, they have them, they don't have them, they have them, they don't have them. Have 2 or 3 years without anything to show, like anything concrete to show, and then publishers have to make a decision. And like honestly, like what are they supposed to do? They can't just keep paying these people, paying people to be hobbyists, you know what I mean? And just, I understand, and I understand both sides of it, like these publishers need a return on their investment, and these the developers need to be creative. And there's, it's like finding that happy medium.
Just imagine where they could have went. Like, just think of like the kind of game they made. Like, I could just imagine the whiteboard, what it looked like, and like, okay, this is the whiteboard for possible stuff that we could do. It's like, okay, well, we could time travel to 1984 and like do this, and that's like 3 weeks of just like brainstorming this one thing that ends up being on a whiteboard of 20 things that just get thrown out the window.
Right.
You know what I mean?
For-
and like that, knowing that how that works now is like,
For-
man, like no wonder it took them time. It
For-
just the ideas of things that could potentially be in the game is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel for developers a little more now, and like Ken Levine a little bit, because I'm sure he feels like people are like casting a shadow on him for like, man, you kind of drove that irrational into the ground because you had so many ideas and they kind of all just dragged this game into an expensive thing, you know?
Well, I think there's two different skill sets there. You know, there's the creative skill set, and then there's the people that are kind of by the line, you know, scheduling financial people, and you kind of need to team those people up because, you know, I have a creative skill set. I don't have that other skill set, that business oriented sort of thing going on so much, you know. So I understand how you're sitting there going, oh man, I'm getting paid, you know, 50, 60, 70, 80, you know, I'm sure Ken was making six figures, you know, a year to kind of hang out in this studio, be in the studio and create whatever my imagination comes to me, and we can make this. And you can kind of fly off the handle and come up with stuff and want to make stuff, and you know, and it's a fun, creative, wonderful place to be, but there's a price tag associated with that. You know, I mean, running a studio is an expensive endeavor. You're not just paying developers a lot of money, you know, but you have your overhead costs, your administration costs, electricity, like things like that. That all is a burden on the wallet of these studios. So,
right,
kind of weird.
Just even designing that stuff.
Yeah.
You know, is expensive because it takes like a lot of brains to sit there and make a game design document for that kind of game. Like, you know, and it feels like that game design document constantly got rewritten. You know what I mean? So it's like, all right, like as Ken Levine, as a designer, right? Ken Levine is sitting there making a document. He makes it. It goes out to everybody in his team. They all get this document. They start making this game that he has in this document. It documents everything that how he wants it to be. And then next week he has a whole new document. It goes out to everyone. It's like, all right, remember how I said there was going to be this? Scratch that. And it's like, dude, I spent a week programming the fucking engine to be able to do that, and now we're not even doing it. You know what I mean?
And apparently,
So,
like, Ken is really
it's
like
nuts.
either he's both wonderful and very difficult to work for because he's very, very demanding. Like, he wants stuff researched, and if you're doing modeling and it's like, oh, I made this archway and it's in this, you know, it's in this sort of style from this time period, he's like, well, let me see the pictures that you got that from. Let me see your resources, and like, oh wait, this isn't quite right. You need to redo this, and this. And he would be very tough on the people he worked for because he wanted things to be as exact as possible. So, but which, you know, again,
are you drinking vodka out of a sake glass?
I think
Chris?
he is.
Yes, I am,
I think
because
he
I
is.
can't find my shot glasses.
Okay, I was just wondering because I noticed you pouring the vodka. Is it vodka?
Yes.
What kind of vodka?
Whipped cream.
Yeah.
Ah, did you get that from
Yeah,
me?
it's probably
That stuff
not.
is good, man.
I
That
was
whip.
expecting. I was expecting because you're in the Austin area that you'd be doing some Tito's.
The whipped cream
Tito's
vodka
is
is dangerous.
okay. It has more bite than I like.
Yeah, it's not whipped cream.
Yeah. Whipped cream is good,
Well,
man.
no.
It's dangerous.
I mean, if I
that
wanted,
stuff is
I can
dangerous.
make my own whipped cream vodka, but
I can put away a whole
Tito's
bottle.
just has more of a bite than I really want.
Nice.
Dangerous stuff. I can put away a bottle of that whipped cream stuff. Doesn't even taste like anything.
Oh yeah.
Like, no
Oh
problem.
yeah. It doesn't. It's
problem.
dessert.
All right, so enough of a
I don't
Bioshock.
taste it at all.
Lots
Video
of
games.
Bioshock. Video games.
Yeah.
What? Yep.
Bioshock is a very good game. Y'all really need to go play it.
All right. DLC. We'll go pick that up. Jeff, what have you been playing?
Yes. I've been playing Infamous Second Son.
That's right. So
which Nick was just
yeah.
broadcasting.
I finished that this week as well. And so yeah,
Okay, let's talk.
give me your spiel. What do you think? How far did you get? First of all.
Okay, so I've played for 5.5 hours, and all I did was clear 4 sections, and like I keep following those dots, but I only have one skill still.
You don't have to clear. You don't have to clear those sections.
I know I don't have to clear it, but I've just been having fun, kind of learning the mechanics of this game,
That's
right?
cool.
So here's the thing. Like, here's a pro tip. I learned just last night how you should actually be progressing through the game with the smoke skill, right? So now I know, like, oh, you kind of, when you're on the floor, you kind of dash into a vent, you pop up on the roof, right?
Right.
And then you double dash while you're popped up at your climax of your pop out, right? And you kind of dash towards another vent that's on another roof, and you kind of do this hop up and down from rooftop to rooftop across. And I didn't know that, so that I spent the first 2 hours of the game walking on the floor and like kind of dashing to roofs, but climbing more, and it man, the game like gave me a wicked bad taste in my mouth, and I know that's wicked Boston to say, but it gave me a bad taste in my mouth for the first like 3.5 hours. Right. Besides the graphics being like drop dead gorgeous, like the first time, I swear to God, the first time you walk out into Seattle and it's raining and you're in this alleyway and it's dark and the reflection of the buildings on this puddle. And the puddle was reacting to the raindrops like a real fucking puddle. You know, there's a lot of processing power going on in this fucking puddle. Yeah. I just sat there and like I cheesed at it and just watched it for like 40 seconds. And Diana walks in and she's like, "What the hell are you doing?" You know what I mean? Like, you're just like smiling, like smiling at this puddle while just like blank eyes staring at it. You know, so the game looks fantastic, but it's an open world game. Yeah. Superhero shit. You know what I mean? Like, it really doesn't do anything. It's here and there with certain things. Like, sometimes I want to stick to something, I don't. Sometimes I don't want to stick to something, I do. Like, as far as like maneuvering or moving around the world, you know what I mean? So I have not technical problems with it, but more like taste problems with like some of the mechanics and the choices they made. But I'm sure like the designers tried their best to find a good balance. It just doesn't. Yeah, it still gets aggravating to me. Yeah. I don't know if you had those kind of problems, Joseph.
Not
but so it has that syndrome.
Yeah, I kind of like I spent a little more time at the beginning getting my powers. So within the first 5 hours, I think I had 3 powers probably in the first 5 hours, if not all of them, you know. And
oh wow,
I think like, and if you just go by mission to mission to mission, you get them pretty quick. They kind of feed you them pretty succinctly, and because of that, like by the time I finished the game, I think I maybe cleared, like did the final showdown thing, maybe in like 2 or 3 areas, and that's it at the end of the game. And I guess my issue with the game, like it's, you know, I have fun with it. It's really fun. I did an evil playthrough because I think it's just fun to just blow shit up all the time, you know, and throw cars around and stuff, and that's always fun. But I felt like as much as I enjoyed the powers, I felt like they were kind of all the same. They were just kind of reskinned, you know, variations of themselves. And I just kind of felt like I couldn't get the feeling out of my brain that I've done this before, you know, like once I finished the first hour of the game and I got on my fire powers, I kind of felt like the rest of the game, the other 9-10 hours, was just kind of like a reskinning of that first hour, and I never really did much that was really all that different. You know, you get your, no matter what power you have, it's kind of the same thing. Like, oh, I'm gonna do this thing where I get this UEP or DWP thing, and like, oh, I'm gonna do, you know, what I do, and I'm gonna run in, I'm gonna shoot some dudes, I'm gonna climb up to a high place, I'm gonna do the punch on the ground to kill some dudes, and I'm just gonna like do that until I get up like to my power where I can do my ultimate move, and then I'll get near the DUP thing and I'll do my ultimate move and it'll kill most of the people. I'll kill the DUP thing, and then I'll just, you know, kill some other dudes, and then I'll be done. And I always felt like I was using the same powers. No matter if I had smoke or video or whatever, I felt like all the powers are kind of the same for the most part. They didn't feel very different. I never felt like I was in a situation where, oh my God, I need to get some smoke to do this. Or, oh my God, I need to get some video to do this section. You know, I never felt, you know, I know they wanted it to feel like, you know, we're never hobbled, but the powers are so similar, it felt like it didn't matter what I was using. Like, most of it was more aesthetic. Like, I ended up like really liking the video power simply because I liked the flight ability of the video, and it got me up to the top of the buildings faster. And I like that. So that was the only thing really that kind of kept me with video for the most part. But I mean, I still had fun with it. There was
How's
a lot
the
of,
city?
Huh? How's the city?
How's the city? Since you know Seattle.
Yeah, so here's the thing. Like, it's not exactly like Seattle, but they kind of... So here's what it is. It's not exactly like Seattle. I'll say that first. Secondly, there are small little things that are exactly like Seattle, like signs that we have, and like the pink elephant thing is definitely in Seattle, and Seattle Center looks the same. But they get the feel of Seattle. They get the feel of it done really well. You know, the kind of architecture we have, like the raised Highway 99, and like how it's a city, but it still looks kind of like urban-ish, but small towny at the same time, and has kind of a more of an older feel, you know? Like, they got the feel of it. Like Seattle isn't nearly as, for the most part, isn't as tight and constrained as it seems like in the game. There are areas that are, but a lot of it's pretty wide open. But they did get the feel done pretty well. And I think one of the reasons maybe I had more of like fun in the game than you did, or maybe I just had a lot of fun in general because I did feel like, hey, I'm in Seattle, and there's a Space Needle, and that kind of thing, you know? But I still had fun with it.
No,
I'll tell you what, though. I'm
saying I'm probably definitely going to enjoy it, but I think I'm going to eventually get to the point where, especially like more now, where I'm just going to just start moving ahead and just hitting everything. Because I've gotten to the point where I do agree with you. It does feel more the samey, and then that starts to bother me.
Yeah, no,
you know what I mean?
I'll tell you what, though. My biggest complaint about this game, I have two big complaints. My first big complaint is that the boss fights are bullshit. Boss fights are, like, they're cheap. They're really cheap. Like, there's this first boss, and two of the boss fights are just exactly the same as each other. But the first one is this, like, earth mover rock dude. And he has this move where he throws like this underground missile at you that's under the ground, but you can see it coming, but it follows you. So you can't dodge it. You try to dodge it and you run away, and it follows you, and it keeps following you until it explodes. And I've hardly ever been able to get away from it. And it's a bullshit move the way it homes in on you. And number two of the first issue, like in the boss fights, they have this horrible, horrible mechanic where every time you get hit by the boss, like, time slows down, and you get knocked down, and you literally can't do anything for, like, 2 or 3 seconds. And in that time period, like, the boss can get off 1 or 2 more hits, and you can't do anything about it. And I've had bosses kill me in one move because they hit me with 1 hit, time slows down, I get knocked down, and at that moment, they hit me with 2 more hits, and I'm dead. And it doesn't help that your character in Infamous is really fucking fragile. Like, you're going to spend a lot of time running away from fights, which I think is kind of shitty because I'm supposed to be like this badass bioterrorist, but very rarely did I actually really feel badass. I felt badass because I could run away really well and heal up, but I never felt like I could stand there and really kill people. So you know what I did? I put the fucking game on easy, and the fucking game got better. It got better on easy because I actually felt like a badass. I could actually drop in the middle of 6 dudes and obliterate them and do so well. And yeah, even on easy, there'll be some instances where, you know, more powerful guys will come and they will fuck your shit up and you need to move out of there, but it seems appropriate at that time. You can still do a lot of damage, but then, you know, oh my god, okay, there's like 2 more dudes here in snipers and they shot rockets at me from a helicopter. Now I need to get away a little bit. But at normal, you do that right away. So it seems like this game kind of got balanced unfairly. It seems like it got balanced for people who were really good at it and for like the QA testers, but not very well balanced for people who were just picking it up for the first time. And not because it's too hard, because it's not hard, because you can just run away. But as an Infamous character, as a bioterrorist, I don't want to just run away. I should be able to do some pretty significant fucking damage right off the bat and kick some ass before I have to do that. So, like, in my opinion, like, the game just feels better. It feels better and makes more sense on easy. So.
like Batman from Arkham Asylum could fuck up.
Yeah.
Whatever that dude
Well,
is.
Arkham Asylum.
Like
Rocksteady
I totally
did
agree with you.
Rocksteady
I don't
did a
feel
great
like
job.
superhero at all. I feel like a normal kid who has powers, but maybe that's the intent.
Maybe it is.
I don't
yeah,
know,
maybe that's the intent. That's just not what I'm looking for. You know what I mean? I think Arkham Asylum actually is really well balanced for Batman. I think because remember Batman though wasn't supernatural.
Yeah, for sure.
He's just a dude. Like the most supernatural thing about Batman is his gadgets and his suit. But for the most part, he's just a dude. Or as in Infamous, you're supposed to be like this bioterrorist. But I'll tell you what. But the story's really good. Yeah. The voice acting of the characters are really cool. Like the relationship between the main character and his brother is really really fun. Just because they get along really well. There's some really funny moments that are coming up between the two brothers that I think you really appreciate because it's just like the game is just like it doesn't make sense why the funny moment happens, but it's funny nonetheless, and it's like, oh wow, the game is just sort of having fun. Like that's cool to watch, you know. It's a part where you have to chase your brother, and just I won't ruin it, but you have to chase your brother, and funny. He starts doing funny shit for no reason, but it's just funny. It's just cool. But yeah, I mean, I liked it. I don't know, like I don't know. I liked it, but I wanted something. I wanted more variations of power. I wanted to feel a little more like a badass. I wanted, something that didn't feel like every mission was kind of a rehash of itself. So, like, I don't know, like,
sure,
I can't even say, but I wanted something a little bit deeper. Even though I did, really enjoy my time with it. I tell you what, though, like, at the end of the game, well, of course, then I played Evil too, so maybe it's different. But at the end of my playthrough, they really alluded to the possibility of like a multiplayer open world Infamous game, where you're playing with other people that have powers in a world. I don't know if it's like that for the good playthrough, but in my playthrough, that was really implied, and it seemed like something that could actually fucking work. And it made me think, like, imagine like an Infamous game that was like online multiplayer, but versus. And you have, like, everyone has different powers. Like, you choose your dude. Like, I'm going to be a fire dude, and someone's going to be a video dude. And you have to duke it out in a city with using all the powers. I think that would be fucking awesome.
Yeah, because the powers are fun to use. And I was going to say, I like fighting the dudes that have the powers.
That have the powers, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Like
the dudes like
that like dash off also.
On concrete.
That's the funnest part.
Yeah,
like,
the ones that can dash off on concrete, and then they create they'll dash off on concrete and then create concrete platforms for themselves on the sides of buildings to shoot you from. It's really cool. Then you're like, fuck, I have to get to this dude, and you try to climb up the building too, or zoom up, or do whatever you do, and it's really fun. And that's one of the moments that I thought, wow, like I would love to play a multiplayer Infamous game where it was just maybe 2 or 3 people all versus in a world, and you were fighting each other. Like, that would be kind of awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I think?
What's funny is
you know what I think I want?
it's funny.
I think I want an Infamous game that has the powers, but the really crazy kind of shit that a Just Cause game has. Where I can, like, use my powers to, like, latch onto an airplane. Like, shit like that.
Pull the airplane out of the sky.
Yeah.
Just do really random...
Like, pull the airplane out of the sky, then throw it at somebody. Like, really crazy shit like that.
Swing it.
Yeah, like a whip with a big whip. Yeah, that would be awesome. And you could totally do that. You could do it in Just Cause. Bob, get cracking on that code, would ya? We're changing direction.
No.
We're like Irrational.
We're say it's funny that you
like Irrational. We're throwing out everything we've done so far, and we're going to make the multiplayer Infamous game. Go ahead, Jeff.
I was going to say it's funny that you it's funny that you bring up the getting knocked down by some of the enemies and then like not being able to get up and having them get in for another two or more hits on you. That doesn't really bother me because I've also been playing Dark Souls too,
Oh,
and that
yeah.
kind of happens in Dark Souls.
Yeah, I haven't played
And I
any
know
Dark Souls
Bob
yet.
was playing Dark Souls. I'm sure everybody is. You're not playing it, are you, Joseph?
I'm not. I was kind of holding off. Well, I was really busy with like GDC and stuff, and then so right before GDC, I was like, "Well, Dark Souls is out and Titanfall is out." So actually, I bought like Titanfall because like with Titanfall, I could play like 2-3 matches in 20 minutes and then be done with it. Whereas I know if I got Dark Souls, I would have been like sucked in for 5-6 hours, and I didn't have time for that. And now I'm kind of like I'm kind of holding on for a next gen version, but it keeps on seeming more unlikely there will be one. So I haven't been playing.
There was a rumor recently that said that there was going to be a next gen version.
Really? See, that's what I'm holding out for.
Yeah, yeah. Possibly even with the fucking lighting system installed.
Oh, that'd be
It
nice.
doesn't fucking
Oh,
matter.
Dark Souls 2?
Jesus.
How about the lighting? I guess.
Fucking lighting. Here goes.
I'm so.
Yeah, I mean it's. I think if anything, the maybe the PC version is going to be a little closer to if they're going to do next gen version, the PC version is going to be a little better. It's going to be closer to what it is, but it's just. I mean, it's still a really good game. Like it's nitpicking there.
It's got really
Oh,
bad
sure
screen.
it is.
Don't forget
I
this.
saw my roommate playing the other day, and he found this giant spider.
So here's this thing, right? So if you follow all the like media stuff and all that shit, like you get a whole different experience with games these days.
Yeah.
It happened with BioShock Infinite where everyone was like, "Oh, well, I already had a bad taste in my mouth with that fucking game because they showed something in one of the trailers and it was never in the fucking game." Same thing with that. Oh, they showed a trailer with this incredible lighting and then the fucking game was garbage. You know what I mean?
It's got really bad
So,
screen tearing. Don't forget the
like
screen
I
tearing. That's really bad.
Games that I anticipate, I no longer watch trailers. I don't pay attention to any of the shit. I know I'm going to play it. I know I want it. I'm going to fucking play it. I'm not going to watch anything because there will be no expectations except the expectations of the last game they gave me. You know what I mean? None of this hoopla and the internet speak and all that bullshit. Like, I don't care. You know what I mean? I don't have enough time in my day to care that the graphics, the lighting system isn't the same. If it was going to run at 26 frames a second compared to 60, then fucking give me the 60,
Just don't go on NeoGAF then.
Yeah, exactly. You never catch me on NeoGAF. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Just stay away from NeoGAF.
To me, that just is with any kind of demographic. There's extremists, and NeoGAF to me is just a group of extremists.
That's an understatement.
I've
dabbled in NeoGAF. I do occasionally, but I don't engage in a debate. I just watch from afar.
I'm kind of
They
obsessed
love
with
their video games, man.
I'm kind of obsessed with NeoGAF.
Power to them.
I kind of love it. I kind of love NeoGAF. But I don't know why. I
It's
think
great for kind of finding the things that you would never think about.
I know what it is though. I love. So some might know this about me, but I'm a big politics junkie. You know what I mean? And I think I lose people. I don't hear people.
No,
Oh,
you're cutting out like crazy.
Sorry.
Yeah, your internet's struggling.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. But I'm a big politics junkie. So I love politics. I love the drama of politics, of modern politics. And I think that's why I love NeoGAF, because it's like gaming drama turned up to 11. And I love it. Like they will find screenshots as soon as they come out and then start looking into them and putting them next to each other. And like, what's this little line? This line here, it's more anti-aliased than the other line was. This line is older, and it's more anti-aliased. Why is this due? That's great.
Joseph.
They will analyze YouTube trailers, which is a terrible idea in and of itself.
It's awesome.
It's
The
fucking
thing is-
YouTube. It's terrible quality.
thing is, I don't have like time is more important, and I don't. Maybe they're kids, maybe they're I don't know who like I know the thing is, NeoGAF gets allotted as like the Illuminati of the gaming internet nerdism. You know what I mean? Like if you're not because it's like exclusive, right? Like you have to ask to be on the forum and like.
Well,
I never registered for it, but I heard about it.
They have like a huge waiting line. So you register and then you just kind of wait for an email. Honestly, like personally, but you can view all of it without having an account. I'm fine with just reading everything personally.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Like when the NPDs come out every month, it's like fucking Christmas over there. It's awesome. And like the gifts alone are so good. You just have to,
for the gifts.
You have to
yeah, they are definitely a form of artwork.
Yeah, you have to like not take it. You have to take GAF not so seriously. Like just look at it as like video game drama turned up to 11, and just get amused by it. If you don't take it so seriously, it's not so bad.
Wait till they get their hands on Tetropolis.
Oh, they'll hate it. They would hate Tetropolis. I mean, I know. Who knows? I don't know.
This is fucking bullshit.
There's a lot of
polygons are in these characters. 4.
Why is there the background looks like it was made in MS Paint?
Like,
Why
actually,
the fuck is there no character self-shadowing? This is bullshit. 2 out of 10.
Matter of fact, I swear I'm gonna compare that block texture to MS Paint because I bet you I can make it.
You know what I did?
Yeah. Actually, I know. I don't know.
Totally
I don't really know how GAF feels about indies and stuff. I don't see a lot of indie speak over there. It's a lot of like AAA stuff and console war stuff and numbers and financials and things like that. But you don't see like
they talk about developers going indie, but they really don't talk about indie games.
Yeah, like indie games aren't really big on GAF anyway. They just don't really care about that. So. But I mean, I don't know. Like
games.
GAF has, GAF. I think the thing is though, like GAF is a cross section of a demographic out there. They have like 3,000 or 4,000 people, members of their forum. So I think gaming is weird, man. It's like there's a demographic like GAF, which is like they are the demographic of the people who like us who are, really into all the nitty gritty stuff. Drama taken up to 11, of course. But then there's the other gaming world, which is the general gaming public who don't keep, they hear Jack Tretton. They don't know who the fuck that is. They don't know who Jack Tretton is. They don't keep track of that shit. Right. They want to play Madden or they want to get the new Call of Duty or Battlefield game. They don't give a shit who made it or, they don't know who Amy Hennig is. Like, who? They don't know. They just don't know. And it's really like, that's the majority.
Amy Hennig was until like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, so
there you go.
I don't know who that is now. What?
Yeah, Amy Hennig, the woman who wrote Uncharted.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. I don't know her by name, but I knew that.
Yes, Bob. You don't know who she is because she's a woman. You misogynist asshole.
Yes.
I knew of a woman who
Hold on.
who wrote Uncharted and got a lot of
Bob,
shit
I'm
for
sorry,
it,
but I'm very
for being a woman in the industry.
Bob, I'm very hurt about your misogyny. I need to make a twine about it. Sorry.
Let's tweet about it.
Well, I think the big problem was that I thought Chris said Emmy Hemingway.
Amy Hemingway?
Like, what?
That'd be kind of a cool name.
I
Amy
just took
Hemingway.
my third shot. I'm on my way to saying that.
There he goes. No, but
So,
Look at it.
is it Amy Hennig or Amy Hemingway?
Amy Hemingway is a great name.
I think I said Hennig.
That's why I didn't understand what the fuck you guys are saying.
We also have like 4 people here.
Hemingway.
We also have 4 people here tonight, so it's a little difficult to discern.
Yeah. I think Amy Hennig.
Amy Hennig.
Hemingway.
Hennig. Way.
Henning.
It's
Way.
Hennig. Hennig.
Henning. I think it's Henning.
There.
Anyway.
That's what you guys are talking about.
Yes.
So we all agree that her first name's Amy.
Yeah, we got that. We're good with that.
Okay, good.
So,
God damn.
what the hell is going on?
Just a bunch of talking about chicks in the industry.
Okay.
That's always a good formula.
Yeah.
Now Tara's drinking my beer. It's okay because she got me one.
So anyway, so Infamous Second Son, it's I like I said, I finished the game. I had a lot of fun with it. I just it's one of those games. I feel like it was fun, but I'm not sure how much I'll take with me after I've played it. Some games you got to take with you, as you continue on, and I'm not sure how much of this I'll take with me.
So what? Yeah. So I agree. Like I always judge my games by how much I remember them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's the easiest way for me to when it comes to like game of the year talk. I have a notebook. I write down like just notes on games that I play, and then like I think about let me think about games. Like what can I remember? Obviously, the games that I can remember and remember parts of that game are the games that stuck out to me.
Right.
So yeah, they gotta have an impact, but. Yeah, I'm gonna continue playing it.
You should.
I'm having fun so far.
You should. I want to see. I want to get your final viewpoints on it and stuff. So definitely keep playing it. So. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, we will get into what Bob's been playing, which I'm sure is a metric fuck ton of stuff. I'm sure, and then we'll get into some
tons of shit.
We'll get into some news and all this kind of good stuff. We will talk a little about PAX East, which is coming up. You're watching Cocktail Time live here at 4PlayerNetwork.com. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
Just Tara there working on her hair, getting her dreads in. Ratty's at her desk. Song's over soon, everybody.
And now our special guest, Tara.
I like how Chris came back and he's like still putting his dick in his pants. That was beautiful. Hey everybody, we are back. Welcome back to 4-Player Podcast, 4-Player Network. I forget. Well, we're both. We're both is what we are. But you are actually watching Cocktail Time live tonight. I want to thank everybody for coming out tonight, especially thanks to all of our subscribers. If you like what we do here at 4-Player Network, please do think about doing so. Subscribing, that is. You can do so over on Twitch TV. There are multiple subscriber benefits. It's all a good thing. There's a page for subscriber benefits. If somebody wants to link that in there. It's all good stuff. But definitely thanks to all of our friends in chat tonight. We do appreciate it. It is wonderful. It is wonderful. And I see you're talking about the new Ninja Turtles movie. The new I want to talk about this for a second. Just for a moment. Because I saw the trailer for the new Ninja Turtles movie. And you know what? I don't think it looked that bad. I don't think it looked that bad. I think
it doesn't look as shit as I thought it would.
It doesn't. It actually they got a little bit of the personality. They got the personality of the turtles in there. I'm not happy about Megan Fox as April O'Neil at all because I hate Megan Fox. But it doesn't look that bad. I want everyone to do an experiment. Watch the trailer and pretend Michael Bay has nothing to do with it. You know what I would do if I was Michael Bay? I would start making movies under an alias. You know what I mean? So people didn't know it was me, and then see how they react. I think people would be much more receptive.
Yeah, his name has
It's a stigma. No, honestly, and you know what? It's deserved. It's completely deserved. Transformers was a blasphemy. A fucking blasphemy. Most of his shit is shit. But, I don't know. This one, I didn't think it was that bad. I didn't think it was that bad. J52, the always perceptive J52, says, one of my friends brought up a good point. The turtles are huge. How do they fit down manholes? That's a very good point. And someone else on Twitter made another excellent point. They said a 30-second Ninja Turtle movie trailer and not one single slice of pizza was shown. Not a slice.
That is a good point.
Right. But
that's like Metal Gear Ground Zeroes and no box, no cardboard box.
No cardboard box. Jesus fucking Christ.
There's no fucking cardboard box.
Wait a second. Maybe
it's over.
Kojima's Michael Bay. Or they've been going out.
You know what? I'm starting to lean in that direction, actually.
Oh, yeah? You didn't like Ground Zeroes, though. You're just a poopy face, man. You're just a poopy. You know what I saw? Let me tell you something.
Ground Zeroes. I didn't
let
like
me tell you something.
of it.
I saw somebody playing Ground Zeroes the other night. It was an Asian man. I know because I was watching.
Can we spoil it?
I'm not going to spoil anything, but I was watching this Asian dude play Ground Zeroes the other night, and I know it was Asian. It was on PS4, and it was all the squiggly lines were all over the place. And he apparently had finished all the side quests and everything, and he was playing as old school like Raiden in like 8-bit skin,
that's the last.
Yeah, and he was like lightning running all over the goddamn stage, and it was fucking awesome.
Yep.
And like that's the shit that's cool.
It's not a bad mission.
But it's not about the mission. It's about the journey, Chris Davis. It's about the journey.
Can we spoil it? Has everybody played it that's going to play it? I mean, it's only an hour long.
I haven't played it yet. But I mean, I don't.
My first pass, I beat it in 55 minutes.
See,
I spent 2.5 hours, and I enjoyed it.
There's people who spend 11 hours just fucking around.
But I didn't enjoy the story.
Right.
You know, I didn't enjoy the story. That's the part of it that bothers me. Like I love the gameplay. It's Metal Gear.
What
You
the
know
hell
what I mean?
is-
The gameplay is awesome.
what-
You get to fucking crawl around like a snake.
Okay, what the hell is Bob doing right now? Is Bob getting fucked in the ass? Is Tara?
No,
I think Tara's.
Sharon took my chair and she's been like,
I thought you were. What is that? What is that?
she's
What?
been harassing me.
What's the turn of phrase when a woman?
See if our lady upon one person drinks and her fingers and bells in her toes. She will have music wherever she
What's the turn of phrase when a woman puts on a strap on and fucks her man up the ass? What is that called? Poking? What is that called? Jeff, you got to know this. You're from Boston.
Oh, she's just fucking weird.
Nobody knows what this is called. It's called like poking
Thank
or
God I got my chair back.
pegging. Yeah, Mika's got it. It's called pegging. Pegging is when a woman puts on a strap on and
Pegging,
fucks
yeah.
a man up the
Contrary to
ass.
popular belief, pegging is not when you get fucked by someone with a peg leg.
No, it's not. It's a fucked by a pirate. It's called
Peggle.
Peggle.
what it is.
That's what Peggle's really about, actually. It's all a metaphor.
Huh.
Yeah.
I always
Kinda
wondered
like
what
Metal
the
Gear.
unicorn was for.
Like Metal Gear is it's a metaphor. It's a metaphor. But anyway, Bob,
Yes.
what have you been playing? Besides
I've
Peggle.
been playing
Tetropolis?
A lot of Tetropolis. I've been playing some new, never been seen, never been played content in Tetropolis, which is going to be
That's-
playable at PAX
That's
East.
true. That's true. We have all new content
Mhm.
that we have to finish in a week and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And screw
Yeah.
you,
Well,
Bob.
2 weeks from today, people are going to be playing it.
That's true. That's true.
Well, more
Word.
like you've got a week to finish it, and then I have 72 hours to bring a trailer to you.
Yeah. Actually, I gotta get some B-roll for tomorrow. But aside from that, let me talk real quick about Scapegoat 2
Mm-hmm.
because that's
Oh my god.
that came out this week. I think it was sometime this week. And Ian, I think he's been working on it with. I think he might have gotten an artist, and Disaster Piece did some of the music for it as well. But the kind of thing that really struck me as kind of weird for Scapegoat 2 was that Double Fine published it, which is kind of a like weird thing for Double Fine to do. They're not known as like a publisher other than their own games.
Yeah, what I heard was that they lent them development space at their studio to work on
Yep.
the game.
Well, I knew that because up leading up to the release, Ian was doing live streams from the Double Fine office. Like, what the fuck do you call it? The Omega Jam, I think is what they're calling it. When they were doing streams from the office where they were working with the people there and kind of finishing up the game and sending it out. But I mean, this is kind of opened up to a whole. I guess it's a news topic now. But this Double Fine is lending help to independent developers.
Yeah.
So they're apparently just trying to do whatever they can to help independent developers stay indie. Either be it funding, publishing, marketing, even help with like getting a Kickstarter together. They're doing kind of this weird. It's really nebulous right now. I have no idea what the fuck they're doing, but they opened up a mailing address that indies can mail and talk to them and be like, hey, we want your help to do whatever. I don't know, and they'll help them. I don't know. It's really
They're
fucking
strange.
weird right now. I have no
Oh
idea.
yeah. And that's why we sent our thing in.
Exactly. Actually, I saw that. I saw that like on Twitter, and then immediately 5 minutes later, I emailed them. I was like, "Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey,
I
Double
heard you
Fine.
help.
Can I say you're looking fine? Doubly fine.
My-
You're looking doubly
double
fine.
Exactly. They love my puns.
You should every time you email them tons of puns.
Tons of puns.
Right.
I think I probably could manage that.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
how you really get publisher support is puns.
Just
Especially Tim Schafer.
He would
Shower
like that.
them
He
in
was fun.
puns.
Shower him in puns.
Yeah, but yeah, the entire situation is really weird. It's kind of just shaking out now. I think they got overwhelmed with emails for independent developers, talking to them, being like, "Hey, I got all this shit. You should totally pay for me to make my game or whatever." And it's we'll see how it shakes out in the next couple of months. I think we'll probably find out in the next month or two. They're getting ready for PAX East as well. I'll drop by their booth. They're right. I probably shouldn't say that. I'm going to be able to drop by their booth and like see them really easily because I'll be there. But onto the Scapegoat 2, it's more a Scapegoat, but they added more mechanics and more puzzles.
What is the Scapegoat?
You never played a Scapegoat?
No.
I've never played it either.
It's about a
fucking
goat
awesome.
that's trying to escape.
Yeah.
What is the goat?
Great. It's really
2014 is the year of the goat.
Yes, it is actually.
What is the goat trying to escape from?
a prison
Why is the goat imprisoned?
because of
Because
sorcery.
he was bad.
Because
Oh
no,
God!
that's a
fucking-
sheep.
Oh,
Oh.
that is a
because he
shame.
was
He was
Why is the goat purple? Has anybody ever asked that
He
question?
got painted that
yeah,
way.
he was purple because
He was painted by goblins.
Exactly. The let's see. So actually, people are talking about Goat Simulator. I can talk about that too because it was at GDC. The goat is purple because I think it's part of like I'm pretty sure I've seen purple goats before in like religious motifs.
Mm-hmm.
It actually kind of does a really awesome artistic style with stained glass reliefs.
Mm-hmm.
So they have this kind of very, really almost Christian influence in the artistic style, but it's all like goats and sheep and mice. Like it's really funny in the way they present it. But it's you're trying to go through this this prison and rescue these sheep, and then escape the prison. And as you rescue more and more sheep, you'll be able to go further on into the prison and actually eventually escape. The original game, you were very similar story. From the second game, they were like, the sheep came back, whatever. Like they went back to the prison. Now you gotta free them again. Like it's very kind of brushing it off. Like whatever. But the game itself is really neat because in this version, instead of being just very linear paths, because you would go into an exit and then continue on until you beat it. There's a grid map that allows you to choose any room you want to go to, and it progresses linearly, but it branches. The paths will branch. So if you get stuck in one spot, you can be like, well, whatever. I need some number of souls. Get sheep souls for saving the sheeps to open this gate and continue on with the game. So it allows you to branch out and try these harder puzzles. And if they're too difficult, doesn't matter. You can move on to something else and find some more souls in an easier route in order to progress and finish the game. Like, there's a way to 100% it, but it's like there's like it's like an 11 by 12 grid. It's huge with the number of rooms that it has. So there's over 100 puzzles in this map, and it's probably 2 to 3 hours, maybe 4 hours long, but it's a lot of fun because you jump around the screen as a goat. It's a 2D kind of puzzle platformer where you leap around from various platforms with addition of different mechanics of allowing you have a rat partner, or like it's not a rat or a mouse,
rat
you can't really
partner.
tell. But the mouse, you get a magic hat. And if you drop, the mouse will run along walls and go upside down, kind of keep running along these walls. And if you have the magic hat, when you press the ability button, you swap places with the mouse. But that was part of the original game where you swap places with it. And this allowed you to kind of push pressure plates, trigger certain things, move to different areas of the map you couldn't get to before, and time things. Because you could die super easy in this game. It's very, very easy to die.
Right.
Or get into a situation where you are just fucked. Like the solution is broken. Like you're in an area where you can't get out. So you need to restart. There's like a quick restart button. You press back and you're right back. So it's a little bit like Super Meat Boy meets puzzle platformer. It's like Super Meat Boy meets Braid almost. It's really kind of a neat mixture between the two, where there's a balance of like really intellectual puzzles with this really kind of quick twitch based. Sometimes the puzzles are like, oh shit, I'm going to be, I have to time these things exactly right and do this exact precision platforming. And if you don't get it quite right, boom, quick reset, boom, try it again. Like it's a really nice balance. It's a really, really well thought out and very, very fun game to do. And it just released on Steam. You can go play it right now. I think we're gonna have a review of Escape Goat coming up soon.
Probably pretty soon.
Yeah, Nolan's actually writing the review now. We look to be turning it into a video probably this weekend.
Yeah, I think it's still on sale. 20% off. It's only $8 on Steam. It's well worth that $8. I enjoyed the hell out of Escape Goat 1 so much that I bought it twice. I bought it when it came to Steam. It's a really, really fun. If you're really into that kind of crazy puzzle platformer where you kind of jump around and like, oh man, there's so many things in there where you can like move things. You can, as a goat, you can slam into walls and like move things left and right. It's kind of like a weird slider puzzle. It's crazy. It's one of those things where you have to play for yourself. If you want to try to get a sample of it, if you're not too sure if you're into it or not, Ian did a mashup for the Candy Jam, which was a spoof on when King was trying to copyright the word candy because of their game.
Oh,
Candy
I remember
Crush.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, he made a Escape Goat Candy Jam. Let me see if I can find it. It's on itch.io. I actually have it right now. It's called Candy Escape Goat Saga. I'll put it into chat. But this is kind of a very similar theme to kind of the games that he does. I noticed actually he kept one of the tiles, the little cherry tile, and he hit it in one of the corners in Escape Goat 2 as kind of an homage to it. Because I saw it and I was like, oh fuck, that's because of this fucking Candy Jam game. But it's great. It's a really, really kind of very original, very funny game. Very it gets to the point where you're like, holy shit, how the fuck do I solve this puzzle?
Right.
It's very smart, really, really fun to play.
Nice. Cool.
Good game. Definitely check it out if you're into that shit.
Excellent. We shall. All right. Let's start in some news. Chris Davis.
What about Dark Souls 2, man? I played tons of that.
So what is there to talk about with Dark Souls 2 besides
God.
the horrible lighting and the screen tearing? And that's it, right? That's all we need to talk about, right?
There's hippopotamuses.
There are hippopotamuses. Well, now I'm turned.
Trolls.
I'm turned.
There are giant two-legged hippopotamuses that hate you. And I made
Dark-
a video out of it.
it's Dark
It's going
Souls.
live tomorrow.
Everything hates
I
it.
saw it and I thought it was funny.
I thought it was funny as well.
I mean, there's really not much there to say other than it's more Dark Souls and
Right.
it's still fun.
Still fun.
I don't think it's as good as the first one, but
Hmm.
it's still worth playing.
Yeah. Oops. All right. Well, news.
Are you doing it on a flask, Joseph? I keep seeing you
Very
swing.
loud. Well, no, I actually have some vodka left over from last weekend. So I'm finishing off the vodka here.
It looks like
Good
a
man.
flask.
What?
Good.
It looks like it's like a hip flask.
It's a little one. It's a little bottle.
Yeah, it's a little traveler.
What's really surprising about this is that I didn't finish this in one night. I don't know how
Why is it brown?
because it has some mixer in it from last weekend.
Okay, I was wondering. It's like
Yeah.
you're swigging something that looks like
No, it has some mixer in it
vodka,
from last
but it's
weekend.
rough.
Usually I can down one of these in one night, no problem. But for some reason last weekend I didn't. I don't know why.
Probably because we took it easy last week.
It's probably liver failure. So you
Yeah, it could be.
Doesn't take as much. You get drunk faster, So
I might do it.
all right, news. Let's hear some fucking news.
Okay. Well,
Facebook
that's-
Oculus. Boom.
Well, yeah. Fine.
Oh
Let's
my
go ahead
god,
and
that's
start
the
off with
thing.
Oculus.
That's the thing. So Oculus Rift was bought by Facebook for $2 billion with a B.
Billion. Let's emphasize that.
$1 billion. That's a lot. If you spent $100 a day, you couldn't spend that in a lifetime. It would take you it would take you a few lifetimes to do that.
If you spent $1,000 a day, how long will
So-
it take?
So here's the real question about this, right? I don't give a shit that it's Facebook. Like, who cares that like that company's rich as fuck, right?
Right.
The thing is that they think going to be the fucking future of video games.
Well, that's basically.
That's
Well,
a big
I would say the future of everything. They're trying they're trying to get into the. Yeah, because right now Oculus is not worth $2 billion at any
No, it
stretch of
isn't.
the imagination. But
No, and nobody's like, how do you really think that's going to be the full scale? I listen, I tried it. It's cool. It's a novel idea. And we talked about novel, me and you, Joseph, this week. It's a novel idea. I will never play every single one of my fucking video games with that thing strapped to my face. Never.
honestly,
Ever.
I don't. As much as I think VR is cool, I'm not as enchanted with it as other people are. I don't think it's going to take off. I don't think it's going to be the big thing. I could be wrong. I mean, I've been wrong. I'm wrong a lot. But I don't personally feel like I can't see soccer moms strapping an Oculus onto their head to have one-on-one time with their kid who's at school and college. You know?
Especially since it looks to be at least a $299 project to buy as a consumer, and the fact that it only really caters to one specific genre of gaming, and that's the first-person game.
No, but they're talking about, you put on your Oculus, and all of a sudden, you're at Wimbledon, and you could look around and all that kind of stuff. I don't know how you would even fucking do that, because you can only see what a camera sees. So what are you going to have, like a 360... Like, they would need to have a 360-degree camera at Wimbledon or at a sporting event that hooks
For every
in...
single person?
No, everyone would see from the same place or the same camera. You know what I mean? But then you could put on the Oculus and feel like you were there, I suppose.
Oh, right.
Instead of
We're all
watching
standing in the
instead of
same
watching
thing.
on your television. But you know what? You know why people watch TV at sporting events? So why people watch sporting events on TV instead of like
Because
going?
99% of the time, it's easier to see.
Yes,
And it's
exactly.
nicer, and it's more comfortable.
And it's more comfortable. And like that and why do you go to a sporting event? You go to a sporting event because you want to be amongst people and you feel that
right.
energy, right? You feel that energy.
yeah.
But you don't feel that energy in like when you're doing virtual reality. I don't think so. Like if you're not there.
Hold on, Joseph. Which Oculus did you use? Did you try it?
Yeah,
already?
well, I tried it with Bob a few years ago at PAX Prime.
Oh no,
yeah,
it's
we did
different.
it at
This was ski
2012.
goggles. Like it was, they still had the ski goggle strap. Like all of us tried it when we were doing in
Right.
2012. Yeah, it was a long time ago.
With
This
like
was
a piece
early
of
prototype.
It was like a piece of motherboard on the side of our head with like a strap, like and then wires and stuff. And I broke it. I broke it when I was there.
did you break the? I think you just broke the game. You didn't break the hardware.
I didn't physically break. I just broke the game I was supposed to be watching. And then
So last year at BFIG, so that was September because it was in the winter. At
Right.
BFIG, I tried it, and I wasn't really impressed. You know what I mean? It's never gonna break. It's never fully immersive. You know what I mean? I know I have this heavy fucking thing strapped to my face. You know what I mean? It's I can't get past that unless you could make a screen contact that I could just put in my eye. That then it's never gonna like actually immerse me that way. I hear people telling stories about like, oh, that roller coaster one like made me nauseous. Like I guess I have to feel it to believe it. Like I have to see like really. Like try it or have a dev kit or something,
Right.
To really know. But man, $2 billion.
yeah, it's insane. It's insane. But they have the money for it. So it's like, well, just and they like one of you guys said it best. Whether they think it's the future of everything, and they're trying to get in on the ground floor. And honestly, like they just hired I forget his name at the moment, but the guy from Valve, who's a brilliant guy. Michael something. I forget his name.
Yeah.
And now they have him and John Carmack. Like,
Yeah.
the
Word on the street is they're spending money. Like they're going to grab every big like
Oh, yeah.
technology.
Oh, you're gonna see a lot more before the month is through. You're gonna see a lot more big tech names, brilliant tech people join that group because now they have the money to give them an offer they can't refuse. So,
Well, we'll see. More news, Chris Davis.
Hang on, I'm gonna take my shot.
I bet you they offered the guy from Valve $1 million. That's my bet. No, maybe not $1 million.
Smooth.
What? Wait, hold on. Wait a second. Everybody, I want everyone to realize what is happening here. Chris Davis is choking on whipped cream flavored vodka right now. Like he was taking
I did say
he was taking fucking wild turkey. Like he was taking fucking wild turkey with Hunter S.
Vodka,
Thompson
yeah.
here. He's like, I'm just gonna have a little bit of my whipped cream flavored vodka. Hold
You
on.
have
one
to
second.
freeze it?
Oh!
You're saying you
Oh!
froze whipped cream vodka in order to make it more drinkable?
Yeah, it's whipped cream
I'm
flavored
not good
vodka,
with alcohol.
but it wasn't
You
smooth
know
enough.
this.
It wasn't smooth enough
People
for him.
know this. I'm not good with alcohol.
You wanna mix that with something, Chris?
Well, I usually do with orange juice.
With orange juice.
Orange
Yeah.
juice.
Stop it. Stop making fun of me.
Orange
I like to
juice.
drink mojitos too.
I've had the equivalent of 6, maybe 7 shots in the past 2 hours.
What I
Shut
have
up.
little-
Pretty good.
When I have little boys over in Neverland, they like the whipped cream vodka. I bring it out. I bring it out.
I freeze it and I put a little bit of it in there.
I put it in there. I put it in a little Coke can and go, here, have a little bit of whipped cream.
Vanilla Coke.
Have a little vanilla Coke. I would like Coke. I shouldn't say I like Coke because Pepsi's one of my sponsors. I burned my hair for their commercial. But I still put a little, I put a little whipped cream vodka and a little Coke for the little children.
Can I talk about the news now?
Sure.
How about we talk about a game that
I
Wolfen
messed
that
up and I put
that
the moonshine in there and the sun blew up in my face.
I put moonshine and they wouldn't wake up no more. So you had to bury
fucking hate
I
all of you.
I had to bury him underneath the swing set in Neverland.
I'm gonna make you all look like shit in your Tetropolis
Never
video.
ever get away, land.
I'm gonna get people to walk away from your booth.
Listen, I don't think you understand. Chris. If this was just a Michael Jackson make fun of Michael Jackson cast, it would be amazing.
I love Michael Jackson. There's only one
too.
thing I love more than Michael Jackson. It's making fun of Michael Jackson.
Yeah. No, the dude's amazing.
Oh, yeah,
But-
best entertainer that ever lived. Anyway, news.
I can talk about news now.
Yes.
As long as you have another shot of that whipped
Gotta have
cream.
it with cream vodka.
I'm gonna make Tetropolis look so bad in your trailer you have no idea.
I can't believe Joseph said, I don't do it in the Pepsi because I had the sponsor. I burned my
I done burned my hair for Pepsi.
No, man.
Well, how about I talk about a game that both Joseph and I are really looking forward to?
Oh, it's Wolfenstein, isn't it?
It's Wolfenstein: The New
Alright.
Order, sir.
Looking for.
And
All right, what
this
do you got?
past week through the Bethesda store, they announced the Panzerhund edition.
So what I really like about this edition is that it's a collector's edition that doesn't include the game.
It doesn't include the game.
It
It's
doesn't.
$100, and I'm confused about that.
It doesn't. It's a $100 collector's edition without the game inside.
Should have been called the Fuck You edition.
It's not really an edition. It's an addition, right?
Yeah.
They
Is it a
misspelled
joke?
it. It's an addition, not edition.
Is it really?
Yes, this doesn't have the
real?
game.
This
yeah,
is a
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
real thing?
yeah, it's
This is a real
$100.
thing.
It's $100, but it doesn't have the game in it.
And they advise customers to quote, keep your pre-order at your favorite retailer and we'll send you these goodies separately. This way we can ship these boxes worldwide and you're not stuck waiting for your game to come along with an oversized expensive shipped box.
Right. It's addition, not edition.
No, it says edition.
I know
not
what I'm
addition.
saying. Like it's not though. It's not an addition.
I know.
It can't be an addition if it doesn't have the game in it. Like an edition implies it's the game's edition that comes with stuff. Just make it $150. Just put the game in it and make it $150. I spent $150 on the collector's edition of Skyrim. I did that. I put my dick in the hole, and I did it.
Why did they call it an edition? Why didn't they just call it merchandise?
I
I
don't
don't
know.
fucking get it.
I know.
I don't know either, but it's what they're doing.
Like the swag, call it a swag box or something.
Yeah, swag. Yep.
It's a weird thing because I think there's going to be some people that they're banking on the fact that some people are going to buy it, not realizing the game is not included.
Man, that's so grimy.
It's kind of grimy.
I don't like that.
well, the thing is, it's only available through the Bethesda store. It's not available at standard retailers. So,
Oh, okay. Never mind. It's fine.
and it's also a limited thing. It's only like 2,500 units.
No, there's 5,000.
or so, whatever. It's a 4-digit number.
Yeah,
It's the
So
hey,
it's,
we
it's
all need bonus.
uber limited.
yeah.
All I know is that it better have some really cool shit in there for me to even think about
No, it does.
pushing the cart button.
There's a statue and has a metal box with a game that doesn't come with it, and it has a art book, and it has patches and a map and some stuff.
I would like the art book.
There's some stuff in there. It has a metal case for the game that doesn't come with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wait, is this ESO or did I completely miss?
This is Wolfenstein.
Wolfenstein. All right.
Yes.
I was
I
thinking
just want the game
Bethesda,
back.
and I was like, what?
I want the game. That's all.
Next
All
news
right.
item.
Well, that's that. How about a new Assassin's Creed game?
No more.
Oh no, this is one you want to play, Joseph.
This is no. I
The
don't.
one made in Unity?
No, this
What
is
is
the last gen version for the PS3 and 360.
Why would I want
It
that?
is. It's rumored to be called Assassin's Creed Comet.
Oh god.
Comet
So Assassin's Creed Vomit?
In space.
in
Well,
space.
The idea is that you take the naval combat from Black Flag, you recycle elements from AC4 and 3, and you set it during the French and Indian War.
Okay.
I'm so not interested in that any of that. at
No,
all.
even the Paris thing. Was like
the French and Indian War. Who the fuck? Like they're really
Yeah, it
they're
takes
really
place in 1758.
they're
That's in
really-
the middle of the French and Indian War.
they're really
So what
scraping
the
they're
fuck
really
cares?
scraping the bottom of the barrel of history, aren't they?
So
Yes.
what side do they play on? Do you play on the French? Do you lose?
No, you play as a privateer. You play as a Templar.
This is not good. Not good.
It's so boring.
It's so boring. It's just boring. It is boring.
Jeez. Unity. What the fuck? And
How
it's
about-
all
I got it.
capitalized.
I got it. I got it.
thought
Million-
it was a version of Unity. Like,
got
I
it.
was like, wow. How did they get Assassin's Creed made in Unity?
$1 million idea. Assassin's Creed, 1960s. You got to assassinate John F. Kennedy. Boom! Burn it.
Yeah, right.
Gold.
Exactly.
Gold, buddy.
Exactly.
Gold.
They can't do that kind of stuff, Joseph. That should have been. You should have saved that idea.
I should have said that. I was out there. I was going to lose.
That's the kind of thing that like indies do, right? So that's why like indie development nowadays is like the bee's knees of game development because companies aren't willing to take risks like that. Like that's an interesting ass idea. Like I would play that shit.
You know what? Annie Kennedy. A few of them got shot. Any one of them.
Yeah. I was
Roll
like,
the
John
dice.
Abraham
wants food.
Lincoln.
Boom.
Yeah.
Lincoln.
That would be amazing.
What if you kill Lincoln? I like it.
Or you'd go behind him, right? So you didn't even know it was him in the opera house,
Right.
And then after they have the reveal, you shoot him, and then you're like, "Oh shit! I shot the president."
Yeah. Or 1940s, supposed to kill Hitler. You do it, and fuck, I killed Charlie Chaplin.
I don't know how you do that.
Made a
but
mistake.
okay. I mean, unless you really confuse Hitler for the dictator.
He did a movie called The Dictator.
Yeah, and it had a fine monologue in there.
There was no it was a silent movie.
The music was always like dun 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 dun.
Well, No, there was a.
The Entertainer.
No, there was no. Charlie Chaplin did a short movie called The Dictator where he played as Hitler. He did.
Oh, I'm thinking like it's something else.
You're thinking of Mein Kampf, which you're a big fan of, Chris Davis.
What? Right now, I'm in such a state in which I can't even spell Mein Kampf.
Mein Kampf, not Mein Kampf. You're like, there was a great monologue. You're like, there was a great monologue. I'm like, no, that was Hitler. That was Hitler. Sorry.
And it was actually called The Great Dictator.
The Great Dictator.
Oh.
I think great was in quotes.
Hey,
And it was not silent. There's actually speech.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yep. I'm watching it right now on YouTube.
Interesting.
Bitches.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Hey, Jeff. Hey,
Yes.
Jeff.
Yes, Chris.
How do you like that Killer Instinct?
I know. I seen the trailer for what's his name? Fulgore.
Fulgore.
Doesn't
Yeah.
that look pretty sweet?
It does. I'm not sure how it's gonna work. I hope it. I hope it doesn't like fuck with the balance of the game so far. Man, I'm rolling with Thunder, man. Like Thunder's my dude. Like I'm climbing the ranks. Like I've got him on lock. So I barely played with Spinal, so it really doesn't make too much of a difference for me. I just like the ability to actually fight a new character. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Well, you
So-
should also be happy that along with his launch on April 9th, they're going to be including both private 8-player lobbies that also allows spectating, as well as a full-on arcade mode for the game.
Yeah, that's the arcade mode's sweet because much like in real arcade, like you kind of just wait. The arcade mode is you mean the campaign?
Yes.
Oh, sweet. Right, because the game didn't have one, so it's nice that it actually has one.
Yep.
We'll see how well they do with that, but the lobby system is important.
But what's even more important is that Microsoft announced what studio is going to be taking over the Killer Instinct franchise now that Double Helix has left. And that
is-
studio is surprisingly Iron Galaxy Studios.
right.
And if they sound familiar, it's because they're the guys who made Dive Kick.
Right. No, I know this, and that's huge. That's huge for fucking like Microsoft and Killer Instinct, because those dudes are like veterans in the fighting community.
Yeah, their back catalog is made up of ports of fighting games like Street Fighter Third Strike and
Yeah.
Marvel vs. Capcom Origins, Darkstalkers Resurrection.
Well, even
Yeah,
the developer-wise, they're ex
Yeah, like ex Capcom
pros.
and
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, when they were one of the studios to pitch to Microsoft on the development of Killer Instinct back in 2012.
Really?
So they
That's
were
big.
denied the contract, but then a couple months ago, Microsoft called them up and said, "Hey, Double Helix is leaving. You want to take over?"
Yeah,
They
if anybody
jumped
should
on
take this over, they are the people that know this shit backwards and forwards.
right. For God's sakes, they balance Dive Kick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like these dudes balance. That game is a one button like legit fighter. Like it could be that game can be at fucking Evo. It's balanced.
Yeah.
for it. You know what I mean? Like, and that's crazy, but it's true. So like, it's super awesome, especially because I like Killer Instinct. It's a very easy it's an easy game to pick up and start getting good at. It's not good. It's not easy to be great at it, but it's very easy once you learn like the basics to opening and closing a combo. Like you can decently you could be a mid-tier fighter. You know what I mean? So it's cool because maybe next year or the next Killer Instinct we get will be a lot, maybe more technical and a little more, like hoping a little bit more on the like Street Fighter side. Because Street Fighter still like Street Fighter 4 to me like that brought fucking fighting games back for me. You know what I mean? Like that was my jam. I played the fuck out of Super Street Fighter 4.
Street Fighter 4 is a great game, but I just think that Killer Instinct and the way the game is presented visually and in the audio, it's just miles and miles above what Street Fighter 4 could be.
Oh, visually, that's one
Yeah,
thing.
I'm more of a presentation guy when it comes to fighting games.
Yeah, well, you can't. You know what I mean? Like, you're talking mechanics here. You know what I mean? Like, fighting is
Yeah.
all is fighting games to me is all about, like, you know, the inputs and the rules of you know, commanding a fight and shit like that. You know, so Street Fighter has. Yeah, it's techy, but it's balanced and it has a lot of variation. It's the reason I like Arc System game fighters, because their characters are. There's a lot of chance for me to find a character that I like that I could be really great with and not have to worry about fighting with the other characters. Now, Killer Instinct, I was afraid wasn't going to be that kind of game because I knew how the combat system was going to be, but luckily, like, it's about, like, the timing, right? So, like, I guess it worked out. So, I mean, good luck. I hope it means good things for you know, the Killer Instinct name and shit.
I think they found a good team.
Sure.
Let's see. How about FTL? The Advanced Edition is coming out next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
They're doing an iOS port too.
Yeah, iPad.
Yeah, it's a $10 on the iPad 2 or newer. It includes all the stuff that's going to the Advanced Edition. The Advanced Edition, by the way, is just free DLC for standard FTL on PC.
Good guys, indie developers.
Fuck yes. It includes a bunch of new subsystems, a hard mode, new aesthetics. It's just a bunch of new awesome stuff. And I know that I'm not going to beat it
on the iPad. I'm definitely going to have it just to be able to lay down in my bed before I go to sleep and, like, do a run of FTL while, like, laying this fucking. That's the shit.
I can't do that because I would end up going to bed angry.
I still haven't beaten that game. I need to actually beat it at some point.
It took me 44 tries on easy to beat FTL.
It's hard. I haven't beat it either, but I haven't really gave it a fair shot.
I'm fairly certain the game just took pity on me on my 44th try too. Said, "Fuck, here, have another laser cannon. Have another laser cannon. Oh yeah, you need scrap metal. Here, have some scrap metal. Here, have another laser cannon." Son of a bitch,
Hey,
I might actually
that's the way it
do
works.
this.
No.
Oh man,
All right. Anything else?
I got two more things.
Okay.
Watch Dogs. Oh, I knew that groan was coming. That's why I paused.
Right.
Well, it's because they started kicking up their fucking ads and they're announcing that they're going to be in, what was it, May?
Yeah,
Yeah,
May.
it's May 27th. They released a new trailer, and you know the trailer's all right. It looks decent visually, but what confuses me is, so last October when the game was scheduled to launch with the next gen systems, they put out a little ad that was poking fun at GTA 5, saying that 2 months was enough to visit Los Santos. Well, this new trailer is called Welcome to Chicago, and it is the exact same marketing format as what Rockstar does for all their games now.
Right, with the voiceover and stuff.
It's the voiceover of just them showing nothing but gameplay, and that's it.
Right.
I'm like, what? I mean, that's not a bad
Okay,
idea.
so the trailer, does it show the city? Is the city better than Los Santos, or are they just talking shit and not backing it up?
It actually doesn't look. Los Santos actually looks a little bit better, I think.
All right, that's the problem, right? Like, when you walk through fucking GTA 5, like, you could just look. You could spend days just walking around that city and seeing interesting shit and hearing interesting shit. Like, I always laugh when I see developers, like, people can't spend 5 years like Rockstar can, like, making a fucking open world like that. You know what I mean? Like, why would you do that to yourself by, like, poking, like, kind of calling them out, or, like, you know what I mean?
No, I feel it. And I think that, at least in the art direction and the macro level, presentation, I think GTA 5 does a lot better, giving you a much bigger city. But I think that Watch Dogs, at least when you're on the ground, when you're on foot, just around people, it feels more natural. Mm-hmm. Just looking at people walking down the street, and as you walk past them, you learn little bits of data about their lives.
I'm going to make you a promise, Chris Davis. If I buy this game and it feels so much like Assassin's Creed, if it follows the Assassin's Creed formula, if in the first 2 hours I have to fucking tail somebody, I will never buy an Ubisoft game again.
You know you're going to have to tell somebody without them seeing
You know you're going to have to tail somebody.
I don't give a fuck. In the first 2 hours, if I have to do it, I'm never going to buy another Ubi. I'm going to buy Watch Dogs. I'm going to buy it. But if they do it, if it walks and talks and feels like Assassin's Creed, I am going to shit on the disc, on the feed. I will shit on the disc.
You know, we should make up a banner for that, and we could tell people that we could advertise for it. Apparently, in Watch Dogs, there is a tailing mission, and now live Saturday night, 9:00. Jeff will shit on the disc on the feed live.
You see his ass as he shits on the disc.
Yeah, I want to see it slowly.
Can we show shit?
We can't show your ass, but maybe we can show like the shit slowly sliding out. We'll use like Japanese laws, like in Japan.
What if I just carried the piece of cardboard and like the disc and the shit back to the feed?
No. We got to see that shit happening. We got to see it happening.
We got to see a squat.
We'll use Asian porn laws, which state that you cannot see the genitalia, but you can see whatever comes out of it.
Guys, you're doing it wrong.
Oh, what if I just bent over like so you just see like my balls, right?
Right.
And then shit. So it just kind of like a cow, just like, and then just aim for the disc.
We can't see your ball. We'll have to pixelate your balls too. So we can't show that.
You're doing it wrong. We can't show this on the feed. What we can do is make this a subscriber exclusive video that people have to pay money to see.
I know what you should do. You know, shit can...
I didn't say it would have to be YouTube.
I got to get royalties for that if I'm going to shit on a disc.
Here's the problem with shitting. Sometimes shit can spray, right? It can kind of get all over the place, and you need some way to control that. I say, before you shit upon the Watch Dogs DVD, you take an Assassin's Creed DVD and secure it firmly to your anus. That way, the shit has a hole that it can be aimed through, that it can go, and then you have a direct passageway, and then like not unlike a softy ice cream machine putting out its wonderful luscious goo, you can be sure to get the max amount of shit upon the Watch Dogs DVD with very little spray having to worry about.
And it also works as self-censorship, so you get you just...
Then we wouldn't see the anus. We wouldn't... Right, the disc would be hiding your anus.
You think that I'm going to be able to shit through the hole in the disc?
I believe in you, Jeff. I believe in you.
You need to prepare for this. You need to have Mexican food that afternoon. You got to get ready.
Oh, my God.
We're talking Thai food. We're talking Mexican.
Indian food.
So you have breakfast is Mexican, afternoon is Thai, and then Indian for dinner.
Oh my God!
That's right, and
no.
That's why
slightly solid, like a lot of oatmeal, maybe.
Just some broccoli between.
Yeah, fiber.
Some fiber,
Keep it together.
This is why you need the Assassin's Creed CD to make sure you don't get overspray.
I don't think this is going to work like a Play-Doh squeezer. You remember those Play-Doh squeezers? You put like the Play-Doh in it and then you push it down and it comes out of the shape.
Of course I do.
I don't think this is
I don't think that's going to work like that.
I think it's just going to shit. It's just going to go all over my ass and in my ass crack, and then I'm going to have to peel the disc off my shit-covered ass because it never came out of the hole.
You think you roll a 1 on that 20-sided die and have a critical failure? Is what you're saying. Critical failure is coming. That's the chance you take if you want to live on the edge.
You know what? shit happens.
That's right.
All right, one more.
One more.
Yeah, one more.
One more.
All right. Square Enix. Calm the fuck down. So,
You know what? It's funny. I have no idea what they're doing right now. No clue.
So-
Yeah, I don't give a shit.
no, they. I think back in September or October, they started talking about the next Deus Ex game. And they revealed some concept art of a divided city. The idea was that mankind, in its throes dealing with transhumanism, had decided to segregate pure humans from transhumanists. Well, this past week, Square Enix trademarked Deus Ex Mankind Divided. It is trademarked as a video game in any way, shape, or form you can possibly imagine.
Right.
And that coincides with this concept art. And so people are thinking we're about to start hearing about a new Deus Ex game, a next-gen Deus Ex game.
You know, I'd kind of be okay with that. I mean, we haven't had one in a while, right?
Yep.
And I like
Well,
Deus
there
Ex.
has been a new one, but it's a piece of shit.
Yeah, you know, I'm a little concerned about how Thief turned out, but I mean, Deus Ex is really good. It's two different studios anyway, so
Actually, no, it was the same studio, just different team.
different. It's what
But no,
different.
I
teams.
wasn't talking about Thief. I was talking about Deus Ex: The Fall.
I know. I'm just saying, it's still in the same studio, so.
Yeah. But yeah, so we might hear something about that at E3, and I need that in my life.
You know, we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I like Deus Ex Human Revolution quite a bit, so I'd be happy. That'd be good.
Yeah, I beat the director's cut just a few weeks ago, so
Did you? Nice. Yeah, I would have complained. All right, is that all we got for news?
that's all I got. And I'm
All
drunk.
right. And you're drunk, so that's a good time to do our final thoughts of the. This is our Cocktail Time Chaser. Our final thoughts of tonight. I will go first. There's a lot of loss in the world, a lot of death, a lot of horrible things that happen. But this week, something really sad and really, really awful happened, and I'm gonna do an end of the show toast. To David Brockie. David Brockie, Odorous Urungus of Guar, died this week at 50 years old. The guy was a frontman genius. Like, if you ever take a chance and go to YouTube and just watch some of David Brockie's interviews as Odorous Urungus of Guar, he's amazing. His appearance as Odorous Urungus on the Joan Rivers show in the early 90s is fucking classic. It's amazing. I used to study this guy's interviews when I was a frontman in bands and stuff, and he will be sorely, sorely missed. So this one goes out to Odorous Urungus, David Brockie, and Guar. And that's my final thought. Chris Davis.
My final thought is not only am I drunk, but I've got a lot of things to do this weekend. We've got an Escape Goat 2 review. I've got a highlights of the month post that's going up tomorrow. The podcast, and we've got a special contest coming up probably Monday that you guys should be excited for. Stay tuned for that, and pray for my liver.
Pray for his liver. Very nice. Bob.
I cannot wait for the end of April. I'm too fucking busy.
You're very busy.
I'm scheduling meetings all week for PAX.
That's right.
I've been working on new content.
That's
I
right.
just want some time for a vacation.
No
Actually be able to
vacation.
play games. Shit. I mean, I'm excited for PAX. It's gonna be fun. It's 2 weeks from today. I'll actually be able to show people all the new content and all the stuff we're working on. So that is in the forefront of my mind for now, is to get all this stuff done and actually playable in 2 weeks.
That's with all of our minds. We all have to
Ah.
do this.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Well, We'll get it done. We will get it done. You will see. We'll get it done. We will get it amazing.
It better be.
Amazing. Jeff.
Yeah, so I've kind of been in the same mind state as Bob. Like, aside from doing little stuff here and there for the team and shit, I've been working a lot in the studio since last week. Working on some concept stuff for the game, and also now I'm heavily working on stuff for a new trailer. But I don't know if I'm being over picky with myself, but I'm finding it's hard to kind of settle my mind, and I'm psyching myself out. I don't know if anybody ever had that thing where you just never feel like what you're making is good enough, and it's weird. It's really weird. So I'm just being like over cautious. So fuck, I don't know. That's my final thought. Fuck, I don't know.
Oh, I totally hear you have those moments where it's like, am I doing okay? Do I suck? I might suck. I don't know if I suck. Do I suck? I totally.
Dude,
hear
I spent like probably a total of like 10 hours in the last 2 days or 3 days working on stuff, and and out of the 4 things, 2 of them I deleted.
Yeah.
Like just recently, like listened to it, was like, no, fuck this, I'm not touching this, delete. You know what I mean? And then it's like, man, that was like 3 hours of work.
That's just sort of the creative process. It's one of the things I learned at GDC. Every talk having something to do with creative. They said, be your own best critic, and just don't be afraid to throw stuff away. It's like, don't be afraid to just throw stuff away. So
Thank God I didn't do that. I worked probably, at least like 30 hours in the last 3 days. And I hate level design.
You're good at it, though. You're good
I
at it,
fucking
though.
hate it.
You're good at it, though.
It's awful. It's terrible.
You're good at it. You're to keep doing it, bitch.
No.
It's fun.
No.
I like it.
It's shit.
Make Tara do it.
I probably could.
Free labor.
In the other room, I hear her say, "What?"
Free labor. All right, guys. Thanks, everyone, for coming out. The Cocktail Time live here at 4playernetwork.com. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Chris. Stick around. Somebody may take over. Not sure. But definitely check out our main website at 4playernetwork.com. We will see you all next week. Have a good one.